So what is the Mother 32? It is a subtractive, analog, semi-modular synthesizer made by an American company called Moog, who have been making synths since the late 60s. And since then, they've been really influential in developing new technology and new approaches to the way synths are designed. And they're currently building a new style of kind of hybrid synthesizers that combine newer, very digital, modern tools with this older patch bay-based analog semi-modular system. So you can combine some old techniques and some new techniques. Now, a modular synth is one of the first designs of synth, and basically it means that each of the components that generate or change sound in the synth can be connected together using patch cables and these patch bay points here, which offers a lot of creative flexibility. And a semi-modular synth is basically one of these that's pre-configured with certain sensible defaults, so that when you pull it out of the box, it already makes a sound and behaves the way you would expect a synthesizer to, without necessarily having to go in and patch things, although you can change anything about how it works with the patch bay. So let's take a quick look at the front panel of the Moog and run through all of the basic features. If we look here, in the top left, we have the oscillator section, or VCO section. We have a pitch or frequency control, toggle between saw and pulse waves, pulse width, and glide control here. Below that, we have the LFO section, have a single LFO with rate, some modulation controls, and again, toggleable between square and triangle. Up here, we have a really nice low-pass ladder filter that can also be switched into a high-pass with the standard cutoff and resonance controls. We have a voltage-controlled amplifier section, and we have an envelope section here. On the right-hand side, we have the patch bay, which lets you use patch cables to connect pretty much anything to anything else in the synth. And on the bottom here, we have this little built-in keyboard, which you can use to play notes, but is primarily there to use for input to the built-in sequencer. So we're going to be covering all of these in a lot more detail later in the course. Let's have a quick look at the basic connectivity options we have with the synth. In the bottom left here, we have a MIDI input, which will let us connect a MIDI keyboard or any other MIDI controller to control the synth. In this case, we're using an Arturia key step, so we can play notes more easily than using the little built-in keyboard. In the bottom right, as part of the patch bay, we have control voltage and keyboard inputs that will let us connect more old-fashioned style control voltage sending devices in, similar to MIDI. And on the back, we have a standard power input and an audio output, which connects to either headphones or a standard kind of 1/4-inch guitar cable. So those are the basic features on the front and the back of the Mother 32. In the next video, we'll be taking a look in depth at the oscillator section.